Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to this session about Visio Immersive, Visio in 3D and mixed reality. I'm Saurabh. I'm the Group Program Manager for Visio, and I have Prateek with me, who's also Senior Program Manager for Visio. Today, we'll take you through a journey of how you can use Visio to create 3D artifacts, 3D landscapes, and use that to visualize your offices, your factory floor layouts, your network diagrams, and all these kind of things. So we're beginning to call this thing Visio Immersive because this is something that will give you an immersive view of the things around you, of the things that you want to plan. And we'll start with a very simple, in a very simple way, where you can use things that you might already have in 2D in the form of diagrams like AutoCAD layouts or a factory floor layout, or simple squares and rectangles and circles. And we'll show you how you can convert those things into something which is very easy to look at, very easy to understand in the 3D world as well. So the kind of workflows that we want to enable with this is that you start with a 2D diagram. Because most of us are much more familiar, or much more, for us, it's much easier to think in the 2D space and lay out things like laying out these chairs, or draw a network diagram very quickly, very simply in 2D. Or you might have already got some of these artifacts. And then we want you to take these and be able to convert them seamlessly, quickly into 3D, and then visualize them in 3D to identify any interesting patterns or some constraints which are visible only when you see things in 3D. Or for the matter, if you've got a really complicated IT architecture diagram and you want to explain that to your clients or to your network engineers, and you want to visualize that in 3D, we want you to be able to do that very quickly. So to introduce this concept, let me quickly walk you through a video which will take you through this journey, and then we'll give you some interesting demos right here in front of you, hoping that everything will work as we have planned. So here's a quick video.
Imagine you are a factory floor manager who has to frequently update the floor layout in response to a constantly evolving market demand. This is layout of a typical factory floor. However, while updating this layout, you would be imagining this.
I'll go down.
Due to the steep learning curve for 3D CAD tools, most users are limited to such flattened 2D top views. Not only makes it difficult to visualize the layout, but also crucial details might be missed out. We will showcase how easy this scenario becomes with the upcoming features in Visio. With click of a button, 3D view of the facility is generated using some of the 3D Visio shapes with default properties. The 3D view might not be complete if there are special shapes such as CNC machines involved. In this case, you can import your custom shapes to the Visio canvas. Now let's say you need to increase the throughput of the production line in Bay 2 by adding machines. You drag and drop the machine shape, add safety parameter, and then copy paste to add one more of these. In the 3D view, you can see how the new facility layout is evolving. However, in the small 3D view, it is difficult for anybody to inspect thousands of square feet of facility for any gaps or clashes. Now you can take a virtual tour of the life-size facility before building it. Here you are in Bay 1. You can walk around or teleport yourself to Bay 2, where the new machines would be deployed. Let's bring up the layers and turn on the visibility for testing tables and personnel, to ensure that they are at a safe distance from the machines. It's all looking safe. This is how anybody in a company can easily create accurate 3D models for space planning and have a fail-proof design so no unexpected issues are discovered later, which can end up incurring huge costs. This scenario applies to various facilities such as office space, retail, warehouse, labs, data center, etc. There's more coming from Visio team in the future. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Saurabh. I hope everyone is enjoying their time at Ignite. So Visio has been getting used to create real-world layouts. Immersive views can give you a perspective that is very difficult to imagine when you're looking at a 2D view. So when you're looking at a 2D view, you're trying to imagining how it would look in 3D. But when you're looking at an immersive view, it takes away that need. According to one of the research reports by one of the leading agencies, in a couple of years from now, the number of HMD devices that will be in use will be more than 150 million. And this usage is not limited to just entertainment and gaming. There will be a lot of production usage in industries such as education, real estate, facilities, engineering, and health. And Visio already has a presence in all of these verticals. Visio has a presence in real estate, engineering, and these are some of the biggest adopters of the MR technology. Now, another value prop is that Visio takes away the need for very skilled 3D users. Anyone can get started with it. You have a 2D diagram, make some small changes to it to provide the third dimensions, import certain shapes, and your diagram is ready to be consumed in 3D. So the key scenarios that Visio can enable, let's look at some of these. So facility management, Visio has a great presence there, and it can help you make efficient choices, do all the optimization. Before you actually build up space, you can visualize it, because rollbacking changes is very inefficient and very costly. PNI diagrams, Visio has been used in a lot of industries, chemical plants such as, they create those PNID diagrams. So Visio can enable converting these PNID diagrams into 3D so that you can visualize that, and further monitor your factory floor and how the production line is functioning. HVAC, that's again for all the facilities management, where you have your ventilation, AC, heating, cooling, all those needs. You can convert these existing HVAC diagrams to 3D and utilize Visio. Data centers. So the use case that we just saw in that was a factory floor, but we have been talking and we have been showcasing this at our booth. A lot of people have been coming that I have a data center and I know which racks, which servers are located at what rack. I want to visualize that. Give me a way that can be converted. So this is something that we are also working on, where once we have that data, once we know where these racks are placed, you can convert that into 3D diagram, walk through it, and we not just stop at that. You can further monitor your data centers using those 3D diagrams. Retail experience, again, it has to do with there are certain stores which change their layouts very often. So they don't want to realize once they have made those changes that this is not working out, and probably the sales are affected if they make that change. So they can simulate all those changes, make those changes, and then see how the customers would react. They can do quick prototyping using that. Training is again a very big scenarios where rather than sending people on site or into the factory, you can train people remotely, where you can create your models using this technology, and using the VR and MR technologies, you can train people. Plant operations, we just saw a video regarding that. So if you have to make changes to your plant, when you're placing machinery, you want to make sure that there is safe distance between machineries, there is space for movement at all. So that also can be accomplished using this technology. And finally, education. That's again, Visio is being heavily used in education, in universities, in colleges. So there also, it has an overlap with the training segment. You can create a lot of education modules using VR and MR so that you can enhance the learning experience. So facility management is the scenario that we are starting with, and we'll showcase a few demos about it. But we'll further enhance it in other areas as well. Now, we have been working closely with some of our customers, and this is what they had to say. They see the value that 3D and MR capabilities of Visio bring to the table, and these are not some of very futuristic scenarios. What they have been saying is, we need that today. be it manufacturing or engineering companies that want to bring their P&D diagrams to life, or how can they use this to improve on their day-to-day plant operations. You can also create a virtual data center using this capability and use that to do a walkthrough of that. And what is common among all these scenarios? What is common among what these customers are saying? Number one, the learning curve is very low. You have a 2D diagram, get started with it, convert it to 3D, and visualize that. It takes away the need of learning those very difficult CAD-based drawing softwares. And the second value prop that customers see is this is a universal language. You don't have to train people on it. Once they see it, they just realize what they have expected to do. The training cost also can go down with this. And what the business decision makers are saying? They understand that once you enhance these diagrams by connecting it with live data, you can create digital twins using that. And you can also enable scenarios of remote troubleshooting. So the skilled labor, which is very rare and costly, the need of going to on-site goes away. Now, what does a typical customer workflow looks like here? First, you start with a 2D drawing. And again, I'm saying that again and again. These 2D drawings, millions of such drawings exist in your organization that are already there. So we don't want you to start from scratch. Use one of your 2D drawings which already exist, and then convert that into a 3D diagram. Once you have created the 3D diagram and you visualize that into as a 3D model as well as a VR and do a walkthrough, and once that is done, you share that within your organization, bring everyone on the same page, and make sure that everyone understands what you are building. And you collaborate on top of that. Once that is done, you can commission that plan, and you can also embed your drawing in the context of how the design is and how it corresponds to what has been developed. You can do that very quickly. And finally, what you would like to do is that using these models that you have developed, you not just stop at creating that, but the next step will be you can control these environments. So Visio already has this capability of being connected to live data. We are taking that to 3D as well. So you can connect your 3D diagrams to live data, and when that data starts to show up in the 3D model, which you can be viewing from far away, you can take control actions, and based on that, you decide what changes needs to be made. And once you've figured out what changes need to be made, then the cycle gets followed again. You again go back to your 2D diagram because that's what people find most comfortable editing. They're used to it. You make changes to that 2D diagram, again convert to that to a 3D diagram, and this follows. So I think enough of talking. Let's start with a quick demo. Saurabh, if you can.
Sure.
It's not detecting the mouse. Just give me a moment.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is a 2D diagram of a factory floor. As you can see, it communicates what are the dimensions and how, where what is placed. But it's difficult to interpret what these objects are, what these machines are, what do these lines mean, what these blue boxes are there at the center. What we have is that I will quickly go to this 3D pane tab and convert that to a 3D diagram. So as you can see, that diagram which had metadata related to what's the height, what's the corresponding 3D model if you're using, we quickly use that data to convert that into a 3D diagram. And you can look at it on screen and do a walkthrough of that. But again, it's limiting because you can only view a limited part of the diagram at a point of time, and it becomes difficult to understand some point. But with this button that you see here, I can quickly move it to VR, and that's what Saurabh would be seeing from now on. Saurabh, can you see that?
Yep, I hope you guys can see what I am seeing.
Yeah, and what you see on the screen is what Saurabh is seeing. So as you can see, he can walk through it. This is a forklift there, and all the machinery, how that is placed, and the safety lines or the parameters, so that he can see what it will look like in real world. We have it set up at our booth, and I think some of you came in last few days and got a chance to experience that. So another capability that we have added is that this is again a Visio diagram. All the diagram that was associated with the shapes that existed there. So the height that you see of any pillar, that's coming from the Visio diagram. That's associated, in Visio diagram we specified the height, and while creating it, that gets converted here. The machines that you see, some of them we have just extruded based on the dimensions that exist in the 2D diagram and the height that is provided there. But some of the complex shapes that you see, we imported a 3D model created in some other 3D software and mapped those to the 2D shapes within Visio. Saurabh, can you switch on some of the layers?
Sure.
So these layers that exist in Visio, they also have been brought in here. So if you want to look at the information, some part of information step by step, you can only look at that, and based on that you can analyze. So here, like Saurabh is switching on and off layers, so you can switch on maybe storage.
Yeah.
And
what this lets me do is that because now I am in the VR view, instead of having to look at this only on a desktop, I can quickly look around. I can see how much extra space is going to get created if we remove those storage units from here, and what new machines I might want to put here for the plant capacity expansion. So let me bring the storage back and see that, okay, now let's say I got a contract for some doing some testing work also for the components that we are preparing, and I want to put those testing tables right next to these lathe machines over here. So I can come down here. I can say that, okay, if I have to actually put some new testing tables here, I switch on the layer, and I can see very clearly how much space that would be. It's almost real. I sometimes end up dropping this because I put it on these tables. So I can observe, like, if we have to remove these gantry cranes, what will it look like? I can make changes to the actual factory structure and see how that would look like if we want to introduce some new, completely new automated, let's say I want to completely remodel my factory, what is the amount of space that I have, and things like that. So as you can see, this gives me a very, very immersive view, and I don't need to walk around the actual factory floor. There can be people who are working with me collaboratively from other parts of the world, and all of us can see the same thing at the same time, and we can have a very much more meaningful discussion about what we want to do with the spaces that we have around us. So, and again, as Prateek was mentioning, all of these are Visio shapes, Visio artifacts, so you can share the 2D plan out to your vendors, contractors, and they can just annotate them with more richer information about the shapes, like, what's the production schedule like, et cetera, and all of those things can be captured in the 2D diagram and can be projected in this 3D world also.
So let's move to the next demo. So again, this is office space diagram created in office space using the standard Visio shapes of walls and tables and chairs, a standard Visio diagram that has been created for office space. Now let me show you. So here, if I click on this particular shape and let me close this and show you from scratch. So what Visio has, that every shape has data associated with it. And I can right click on it and say shape data, and this particular line that you see, or this particular small rectangle that you see, the other information that has been associated with it is the 3D height, which in this case is 60, about 5 feet, and the texture. So this is a glass wall. For some of the other shapes, like this chair, This chair is a complex shape, and it is kind of difficult to define it using the primitives, simple primitives based on rectangles, circles, and just height. So in this case, what we have done is that I have imported a 3D model that, and a lot of those models are available publicly. You can download those models, and I have mapped this particular chair with this. So this chair.glb file and this angular offset, which is 180 degree. So I have rotated that chair by 180 degree and provided a model that you could view. So let me again do the same thing. And I would need a volunteer who would like to just view this model. Me again go to this 3D tab and click on view.
I think you're still seeing the factory floor.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I will start this one again. Are you able to see it?
Hey Tyson, are you able to see the office now?
Yeah, great. So you can do the walkthrough. So these are just cubicle spaces that we constructed. There are some open offices. There's a recreational area. So if you want to do a quick walkthrough of it. So here there are some labels of some conference room. You want to go inside the conference room.
Yep, there's the door.
Towards your back. Yeah. So this is conference room, and you can see how furniture is placed. If you want to, you're evaluating different type of furniture, multiple chairs that you're considering, you can get those 3D models, import those here, and see how each of those look. I mean, I think you're playing with some of the layers. So if you want to switch off the measurements and maybe. So yeah, so those walls went away because those walls have been kept in a separate layer. So those walls went away. Maybe you want to switch on the walls and switch off the furniture. Yeah, again, so you can see just the furniture. And I would like to walk out of the conference room.
The other side's the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go to the right. Yeah, move straight towards the corridor. Yeah. So can you go near one of these tables on your right? Yeah. Yeah, just try to stand in front of it. Yeah, just give me a moment. So as I showed you, these shapes have a lot of data associated with. These are parametric shapes. So what I can do is I can select one of these shapes, and instead of table type, instead of normal, I'm making it high. I save the diagram. Because the normal versus high specifies the height of that diagram. I go back to this model and refresh it. It will black out for a bit.
So having this information in 2D and through these kind of diagrams can help you quickly plan. Let's say you're looking at making a normal cubicles office into a open office kind of a environment.
The next one, can you just move forward? Yeah, so this one got converted to a high table, and can you see the difference, Tim?
Yeah, so we just made it a standing desk now. A lot of people are using these nowadays for ergonomic reasons. So what you can see is like if all the desks in the office are made ergonomic, and if they are made to stand up, how would that look?
Tim, can you move towards those bar stools? Your front and, yeah, those.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. So I am seeing like there's 6 bar stools here, looks a bit congested. So I can quickly make change to the Visio diagram. Remove one of these from here. Select these and use the standard 2D editing capabilities of distribute horizontally. Just save the diagram And when we'll look at the 3D diagram in this, it would have probably blacked out for you. Yeah, it will.
So what I want to do is make editing things in 3D as simple as, editing a PowerPoint or a normal document, right? Like how you would do operations over there, cut, copy, paste, resize, et cetera, et cetera. You can do all your 3D modeling.
Just move a bit forward. So one of that stool went away, and I was able to quickly align those and distribute those horizontally. If you can imagine, if you are doing the same operations in 3D, they are very difficult. 3D has its own unique value propositions when it helps you visualize it better. But if you would like to make edits to that, let's say there are 4 things lying and you want to see that all these things should be aligned here, it's very difficult to make that in this kind of view. So there we use the capabilities there are that the 2D canvas provides, make those changes quickly, push them to MR and visualize them there. So
how do you like your new office, Tyson? All right. Thank you.
So we'll be around for some time. If some of you want to come in a week, we can give you a chance to view, or we are there at the booth as well, and you guys can come. So we have taken some baby steps in terms of what is already released. So we have done an integration with Microsoft Layout. So Microsoft Layout, as you would be aware, it helps you design your floor or your area around you, where you can start placing things into the VR world and see how it's looking. So we have created an add-in for Microsoft Layout. What it does is that the floor plan that you have created in Visio, it helps you push it to Microsoft Layout. So you don't have to, when you're in Layout, you don't have to start from scratch. The dimensions or the diagrams that have already been created as a CAD drawing or a Visio drawing, and they have already existed in your organization, you use those, quickly push that to Layout, and then when you are working on that layout, in the application in HoloLens, you can utilize your Visio diagram. So that add-in is already available. You can download that and start working with Microsoft Layout. So again, what's there in the roadmap? I just showed you how we have enabled consuming your diagrams in immersive mixed reality views. Once we have accomplished that, we'll work on connecting these diagrams with live data so that these can be used as real-life 3D dashboards or digital twins. And you can start monitoring and operating your businesses using that. And then when the next step would be being able to control your environment. You make changes in this virtual world, and that gets reflected into the real world. So that's the stage 1, where we are starting with a 2D view that already exists. We are providing a 3D view and an MR view. The second thing, after connecting it to data, enable scenarios like remote monitoring, and finally giving you capabilities to remotely troubleshoot through digital twins. That's all I had. Thanks a lot for your time, and please provide your feedback. If some of you want to try it out, we'll be here for some more time, and we can stop for questions.